We grew up on mixtapes and neon
Hey there,
lights,
everybody. It is the
dreaming
GlobeTrotting
of
Trio. Today we're a duo again.
Oh,
If you didn't hear, Shelley is off on her adventure in Ireland and she's finishing it up here, I think today or tomorrow, and she'll be heading back to the United States. But she's been having a great time over there. So today we're going to talk about what are you waiting for? And we felt like that was a really good topic after last week's Ireland adventure with Shelley. And then we want to talk a little bit about what Tammy got to do this last week as well. She went
yes.
so Shelley went and the Jameson whiskey she got to do a tasting for. Guinness she got to do a tasting for, and Tammy got to do something else that's here in the United States. I feel like there was a
Yes.
theme for you guys,
There
right?
was a theme, bourbon,
Was.
whiskey, all of that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I actually had a really good time. Went down to Kentucky, to bourbon country. It's so funny is that one of the tour guide guys, people said, where do you think the most of the bourbon is made, worldwide? And somebody said, United States. And he's like, well, most people say Kentucky. So, that's kind of funny. It is. It's truly Kentucky is the one that does
Uh-huh.
do a lot. So, we did in each one. And do you drink bourbon at all, Amy?
No,
No,
no.
no. So each one of the distilleries had their own little thing about them. So we went on, let's see, what do we do? We did five. We did five.
Wow.
And
A
over,
tasting at each one?
yeah, but it was two on each day.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So we did two on Monday, two on Tuesday, and then, well, one on Wednesday because we were heading back. And that,
Yeah.
well, yeah, the only ones that drank was the ones that weren't driving. So you know what I mean. Um, but the first one was Woodford, and it was like, classy. The Woodford was classy, and then we go to um, Whiskey Thief. That was like country, like
Uh-huh.
just like it was just fun because they only do single barrel, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. And then we go to another one that's Jay Mattingly on Tuesday, and it has a family history of everything. And then Buffalo Trace is the very commercialized, like the biggest distillery ever. And then, of course, the last one was Angel's Envy, coming home, and then they have a whole different history. And it's just weird and fun and exciting to hear all the stories and the taste difference. And honestly, this was my first bourbon tasting. I had no idea that there was so many different flavors of
I
whiskey.
didn't either.
I
Like,
know.
but okay, I don't drink it, but I
Yeah,
thought bourbon was bourbon, right?
me too. Before I went on this trip. Yep. And now it is not. Bourbon is not bourbon and bourbon and bourbon. So,
There you go.
and I kind of figured out why I liked Angel's Envy. One of the best ones that I've always liked was Angel's Envy. And it was because the first half was done in a brand new barrel of the aging process, six to 8 years of the aging process. And I didn't know that either. But the between the 16 months and 24 months, it's aged in a wine barrel. So
Oh,
I was getting, it's like the wine notes were coming off of it. So it's kind of cool to know, to taste and see that. And yeah, so we had a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. I mean, you definitely get to drinking bourbon, Amy.
okay,
You can
yeah.
come up here and taste all the taste. And I mean, like, it is really, really hot right now. I mean, people are into bourbon that they've never been at this much into bourbon ever in the history, I think. So, yeah.
Since it was bootlegged or something, yeah, maybe.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, they talked a couple things about that too that I didn't realize, that during Prohibition, they were still making alcohol, but they were serving it or selling it to the government to use for medicinal purposes.
Oh,
Yeah.
so bourbon was medicine back in the day. That
Yeah.
good to know.
Didn't know
Huh.
that. Anyway, so what are you waiting for, right?
Yeah,
With
what are
our
you waiting
topic
for? And
today.
that's a huge opening to this, right? Because there's
It
a lot
is.
of people out there that say this statement, someday I'll travel more. Someday
Uh,
I'll, right? And they just keep
yeah.
doing it.
And I
Take the
think
bull
I
by the
said for
horns.
Yeah, I think I've said for 4 years now. And now, mind you, Kentucky, where we went, I mean, oh, most of the distilleries were only 4 hours from my house. So it's crazy for me to say for the last 4 years, someday I would like to go. So,
Uh-huh.
yeah, so for sure. So I know you actually have a trip coming in next year that how many
Yes.
times have you said
Yes. I
someday?
am beyond excited about that one that's coming up because we're going to be doing 5 days in New Zealand, 7 days in Australia, and then coming back 23 days on a ship coming back to the United States and landing in San Francisco. So I am pretty stoked about
Yeah.
that one for sure.
Yeah. And I'm sure you've said in your past, someday I'm going to go to New Zealand. Someday I'm going to
Yes.
go to Australia. Those
Yeah.
are huge, huge trips because the flight
Yes.
is so long. Yeah. Yeah.
Agreed. They are
Yeah.
ginormously large. But so what we want to talk though is a little bit more about than just travel
Yeah.
because there's a
It
lot of
is.
people out there that do the someday, like maybe they travel right now, but they say someday I'll start that business or someday I'll get healthier. Someday I'll chase the dream that was there. The problem is whenever we say that, because I will say that's something, we either slow play it and we don't do it for 4 years, or like
Yeah.
me, I've wanted to go to Australia and New Zealand really since we started watching Lord of the Rings way back in the day. So that's how long it
You
is.
know that value.
Yeah, that's my dream of going there. And how many years has it been? And we're just now trying to make that come to fruition. So
Do you, do you think, why do you think we wait for stuff? Like, why do people wait to start a business? Because
I will tell you I feel like there's a lot of people that don't do what they want to do right in the moment because they think they have more time, like that they think that their
uh,
time is infinite and they'll do it later. I'll finish doing this, like starting a business. How many people work in corporate world? That's where you were taught to be. Like when we were growing up, they taught you to go to corporate. I wasn't taught to go to college. I was taught to go get a job. That's what I was
uh,
taught to do. And I
yeah,
had a job or jobs all the time. Um, but I also had a dad that said you can do whatever you want to do. So he gave me that
yeah,
entrepreneurial like
yeah,
spirit. So I knew that there was more out there that I could do that. But I think that's the biggest thing that we feel like we have, when we're younger, all of us. I mean, us as Gen Xers, man, we thought we had time to waste.
we
Really.
did. We did. And I think it's actually as the generations are even going now,
Uh-huh.
is that even the millennials, they think they have more time than we ever did, as
Uh-huh.
Gen Xers. I mean, so and then what is it, Gen Zs?
Disease.
Oh my gosh,
Yep.
they're oblivious. They're right. I mean, they're like total. They're like, no, that
Uh-huh.
we're gonna live forever. So
Uh-huh.
yeah. And how many times, not to be on a depressing subject, but how many times, sickness strikes, an accident
Yeah.
happens, and that time is no longer that time.
Yeah.
So
Or how many times have you heard of somebody that's worked and worked and worked? I know there's some teachers that I worked with in the past that worked and worked and worked to retire. They worked for, 40 years as an educator, meaning they were probably in their late 60s, early 70s. They finally retire, and a couple of weeks later, they're diagnosed with an illness, or a year
yeah.
later, and they've passed away. So,
Mhm.
yeah, definitely want to look at this more as you've got a very finite amount of days, not
Yeah.
infinite, but very finite.
Right.
The other
Absolutely.
thing I think that stops people is they're afraid they're going to fail. Some
Mm.
even think, though, that they're going to be fearful that they might succeed. And what do you do with that success? What does that look
Yeah.
like? How do you
Yeah.
handle that situation?
Right. Isn't that funny?
Mhm.
Because and I think that I've actually had that in the past and probably still have it because I get a certain point, I've been through, a couple of different companies, and I get to a certain point and I kind of stop
Mhm.
because it's my comfortableness of success But if I go higher, it goes out of that uncomfortable zone for me
The
of
unknown.
success. Yeah, it's like, okay, so what does this mean up here? I know what this is. I can handle this, but what is this? Um, and I don't, I mean, tell me, I have no idea. I guess we just have to, and we do. We just have to um,
Mhm.
take the bull by the horn, just like you just said earlier, bull by the horn, and just go with it and just see what it happens. It's like it's not going to kill us, so
Right.
might as well push through and make something happen on that end.
I
So
agree. The
yeah,
last one is this. How many times have you heard somebody say, I can't do that until? Like the timing had to be right. Once I'm making enough money, I'll start a family. Once I'm doing this, I'll do
mm,
this. And that is another huge thing that I think stops people from traveling, stops them
yeah,
from starting their business, chasing that dream that they've always wanted to do
yeah,
because they feel like they have to satisfy this before they can go here. And
right,
it's, those conversations. If you waited till you were, financially stable or financially secure or financially whatever you wanted to be, if you had that right perfect number, you're living. Most people in the United States live beyond their means. That's
yeah.
what we're taught to do. So you're never going to hit that time.
No, and that's exactly right. It's like if I said, way back when, we're not going to do whatever, not going to buy a house until we have a kid. I mean, it took us 9 years to have a child.
Right.
So, I mean, why would we put a limit, a hold on who we can be?
Right.
That's true. I like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep, that's that reality. There's no perfect time, right? There's
Mm-mm.
this one
Nope.
thing too, like if you don't take the actions, you never get the
Uh,
confidence, right?
yeah. Yeah.
That's huge as well. And just
Yeah.
those little small steps that we take each and every day.
Uh,
Um, I will say that I coach a lot of people that are on my team to help them with that. Like, you don't have to do everything all at
right.
once, right?
Yeah.
But do one little thing to make things better. If you're ready to start that business, if you're ready to join us, whatever, you got to take the step, reach out to us.
Yeah.
Let us talk to you. Let us explain what it's all about. We can give you a lot more details than we do here on the podcast. But with that being
Right.
said, those little small steps are going to walk you towards that big achievement at the end that's going to be
Mhm.
great for you. Right?
Absolutely. I love that. I really do. I love that because, the first step in starting a business with us is actually making and, joining us. And then
Right.
everything else kind of falls into place. It's
Exactly.
because we can make that happen. That's good. I like that. I like that you tell your team that, Amy. That's nice.
Yes. Every once in a while I come up with something good. All right, so
Yes, you
let's
do.
ask this question. Let's ask this question. I'm going to ask it of Tammy. You can definitely ask it of me. And then we want you all to respond to us down in the comments and let us know what is that one dream that you've been putting off.
Um, so you know, my dreams have always been travel dreams. I
Hmm.
mean, it's always been that way. And I've dreamed about Italy probably almost all my life until when I realized Italy was Italy, and
Right.
saw the movies and stuff. So that's probably one that I'm dreaming of right now that is very heavy, on my heart. And I'm no longer going to put it off. It's going to happen next summer.
Yes.
And and that's probably it. But if I think back, but in my lifetime, the things that I would not do or was putting off or whatever. I mean, I didn't feel like my life could start until I got married. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like that was how we were raised, though. Kids are not raised like that anymore, and thank God they're not.
Right.
But Gen Xers were. You
Yes.
grew up, you got married, you
Uh-huh.
got a job. Well, especially the women. Um, my family.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So, what's your biggest dream, Amy? That's
Right
your
now, our biggest dream, I think, is getting in our RV full time because that's
yes.
really what we want to do so we can travel. the United States. That's definitely what we want to do. I only have two, three, 4 states left, I think, to hit all 50. So we're excited about that. But um,
And Andrew too?
Andrew only has one. He needs Alaska. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I got one over here. Minnesota, maybe. Yeah, Minnesota. And then
Okay.
Washington.
You got to
I don't
think
know about
now.
Alaska. I'm looking.
You're
Um,
looking. So
yeah.
I actually, speaking of that, I actually, that was one of my big goals when I started the airline
Oh, I
is that
only
I
have
wanted
three. Sorry.
three. Okay.
Mhm.
So Alaska, Minnesota,
And Washington.
and Washington State.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. So
Okay.
I did that. I was 31 when I did that because that was my goal when I started working for the airline. I said, I'm going to make this happen. So, and mine was easy, because I had free flights. So it was easy. I shouldn't say easy. It was easier than the average
Yeah.
person to
Easier to
do.
attain than those that are, yeah, I totally
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. See, those are exciting things. So are you going to
Right?
go to Minnesota first when you get in your RV here?
I don't know. I don't know
Alaska.
what our
I
plan.
mean, you can kick out Washington and Alaska right
Yeah, that'll
together.
be our Alaskan cruise. We'll go on an Alaskan cruise going to Seattle and yeah,
Yeah.
and go on up.
Yeah.
So that'll
But
that'll be pretty.
you don't have that one scheduled though.
No,
Yeah.
no, we want to do this. Andrew has never been to San Francisco, so he's pretty excited. That's where our cruise next year is going to land, is in San Francisco.
Oh,
So,
yes. And I can't remember the name of it, but make sure you ask me again. Dave always remembers the name of it. It's an Irish coffee pub
okay,
in San Francisco that you guys will love. I love it
okay,
myself. So make sure you and I'll get it to you. And when we post this, I'll let you all know too, so you can go because now everybody's going to be excited about this because it really is
yes,
a really good place, and I can't think of the name of it. So that's fun. That's really fun.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Dreaming.
So
You see, we go back on travel.
have you ever delayed something and wished later that you had done it
Yes.
sooner?
Absolutely. I mean, and of course, my biggest thing, and I don't know if I delayed it or if it just timing and everything, is that and I've always said I wish I would have met my husband earlier in life.
Oh yeah.
That's a big one. That one's a big one for me because um, we are so. I mean, we're so much alike, but so much differently too. But we complement each other so much, and you probably have that same thing. Is
I do. That
yeah,
Andrew and I've actually talked about that before. Although
hmm
he is a little bit younger than me, 6 years younger than me, had I met him
yeah,
earlier in life, I probably wouldn't have liked him. So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's true. And then because I with that, I don't know if I have like starting my life before I got married. That's one of the biggest ones that I did. I put off doing
Mhm.
things, even though I did things and I was happy and all that good stuff, but to actually lay roots and lay roots, plant
I think
roots.
so. Plant root.
Yeah,
Plant roots. You got to plant them.
plant
You
them.
don't
Yeah,
land.
I'm like,
Yeah.
wait.
Right.
Um, and what about you? What are you? Delay something that you wanted to do
So
sooner.
honestly, this business, I wish I
Yeah.
would have been more. I wish I would. I started it when I found out about it. Like there was no
Yeah.
hesitation.
Right.
Somebody told me about it. I had it. I was done. I was in. Like
Yeah.
within 24 hours, I had
Me
everything
too. That's
done,
us.
ready.
Yeah, we both were
Um,
the same there.
but I didn't get the buy-in, the understanding of the business as
Uh,
quickly as I wish I would have. Because had
right,
I done that, I would be well ahead of where I'm at right now.
right, right.
So, yeah,
Yeah. And now that we're talking on the business part of it, is that I wish I would have found the travel business, our business that we're currently in right now. I wish I would have found that a little earlier.
yeah,
Um, and I mean, it's been nine, 9.5 years now, almost 9.5 years for me now. So for that's pretty amazing in itself. But I wish I would have, been able to do 20. You know what I mean?
right.
Or
Yeah.
whatever the number, could be. But Um, but you know, it is what it is.
It
And
is.
we got to
It's,
make the most
everything
of it.
happened exactly as it was supposed to, but
Yeah.
yeah, we can still the
Yeah.
wish, the what ifs.
Yep.
Um,
Absolutely.
so I would totally challenge people right now to identify one thing that you've been saying someday to
Yeah.
and take that one step. Maybe try this week, just take that one step. Maybe it's booking the trip, maybe it's
Yeah.
reaching out to one of us, signing up for a class that you may have wanted to,
Yeah.
maybe you want to learn how to make cakes. I don't know. Just simply
Yeah.
start. Take some time for yourself. That's huge. That's another one of those Gen X things.
Yes.
Hey, somebody just posted something recently about that's the best thing about being Gen X, the stages of our lives that we're in right now. I
Yeah.
have no qualms at just telling you how we feel.
Yeah. Oh man, don't we? Don't
Sometimes the
we?
people don't necessarily like to hear what we have to say, but there you go.
I know. And I'm laughing really hard because of the story that just happened yesterday. And sometimes you really do have to watch what you say.
Yeah, the
Um,
filter.
you
Yeah.
have a filter, and my filter is like not there a whole lot of the time anymore. And I just told somebody that they didn't want to pay. They want to have the luxuries of the fine restaurants, but they don't want to pay the price, or they complain about the price all the time. It's one of the things that drives me the nuts the most. Stop complaining. You
Uh-huh.
know, if you're gonna do it, stop
Uh-huh.
complaining. And we go back to our topic. Maybe that is what is causing people is they complain about it too much. So
Yeah.
or other people complain about
Yeah.
it, so they think it's the
That could
wrong.
also be their defense mechanism for, because I feel like that's a lot of what happens to some of the people that I work with is that they've got
Yeah.
that defense mechanism. It's not going to work. It's not going to work for me. It
Yeah.
worked for you, but it's not going to work for me. And
Right.
if you do that and you say, well, she's better at it or she did this and I
Hmm.
can't do that, like it's just not fair. If you
Yeah.
have that, that's
Yeah.
the defense. That's the excuse
Right.
that
Right.
stops
That's true.
you.
Very
Yeah.
true. Very true.
So a year from now, you'll
Ooh.
wish that you had started something today. What is it? What's that one thing? That just you don't have to necessarily say anything unless you just want to. Um,
Yeah.
but
So
think about it.
one thing we haven't talked about is, and a couple weeks ago we talked about the menopause and all that good stuff, but let's talk about our health. You
Yes.
know, beyond the menopause, beyond anything like that, is, a lot of people are, a lot of, honestly, Gen Xers or really anybody
Hmm.
suffering with weight or not exercising or not, not doing this, not doing this. And that's one of the things that I think a lot of people would say, I wish I started today because a year from now, I could be stronger, healthier, way less.
Right.
And it actually even go on the other end too, is if it was a person that needed to lose weight and they couldn't eat food, but there's always a plan for people to be healthier.
Right.
You could be the skinniest person in the world and still be very, very unhealthy. So um, it's still, it's on both sides. So I think that's a big one for everybody is if I started my weight loss now, what would it be like in a year? Or if I started my business now, where would it be in a
Right.
year?
Right. That
Mhm.
is huge. So that's what we want you guys to think about. That's kind of my task. I know I
Yeah.
said the other one, but that's really the one I want you to think about.
Yeah.
Think about what you could do. What could you accomplish in a year and make yourself look back and say, oh my gosh, you know, way to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
So
right.
it
Uh-huh.
reminds me, and then we're wrap it up, or you can wrap it up, is
No, you're
that
fine.
that book that we read together at one point is the consistency chain.
Yes.
And I always like to say that in my head is that it starts at day one. So if you want something to happen, start today, and make that leap, make that commitment, and then just it's done today, then tomorrow you do it all over again. And Amy just went and got her book, so
I did. That's how much I love that book, right? It's
Yeah.
George Campbell and Jim Packard that wrote it. And I will tell you, read it, yes. Have the book. Of course, if you're watching, you can probably see that I've got like little highlights all through the book, and that's what I did and took notes and all of that. But definitely listen to it on Audible if you have the chance while you're reading the book or after you've read the book, and just listen to it on repeat. I'm going to tell you, you will not regret it. They are both absolutely amazing. I love listening to George though, but he's
Yeah.
also from close to where I live. So
Oh,
where I,
well, there you go.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So definitely, it's one of those things that's going to help you with habits. And it says it's
Yeah.
for network marketing, but I will tell you, my husband's done this since the day we listened to it. He's now
Yeah.
like 500 and something days on his streak. He has not missed a day at
Oh,
all.
that's awesome.
Absolutely amazing.
Oh,
So
see? And
kudos to
and
him.
it can change your life.
Yes.
It
Yep.
can. Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. I love
For
that.
sure.
Love it.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So here's the deal. If you've enjoyed our today's episode, I really want you to think about going ahead and hitting that like and follow button and subscribe so that you will never miss one of our adventures. And as always, thank you for being with us on this wild and beautiful journey. Until next time, my friends, keep exploring.
Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody.
Travel queen.